Hello and welcome back to Small Screen Stories. This is the daily show where I go over all the news in the world of entertainment and pop culture. There's been a lot of stuff today that has gone up on the site at Small Screen, which is the website that I am the editor of. And you can go over there right now at small-screen.co.uk. If you could also like and subscribe, that'd be wonderful if you could do that. And if you could follow Small Screen everywhere on socials at Small Screen Co. That would also be wonderful. And now that I've got all of that out the way, also, actually, no, I haven't. There's one last thing. You can also, if you would rather listen to this as a podcast, you can find this wherever you get your podcasts at Small Screen Stories. And if you're listening on iTunes Apple Podcasts, I always say iTunes. I have just not got off, just not been able to get that out of my head. You can also find that and give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. That'd be wonderful. That was a bit of a really weird introduction to the show. And let's get right into the news. And at the very top, we've got Doctor Strange 2. So it's been revealed that Doctor Strange 2, the production, which is actually in the UK, has been put on pause because of the new lockdown rules over there in the United Kingdom. So there have been a lot of new cases of coronavirus in the UK, and because of that, the Prime Minister Boris Johnson has basically put the country in lockdown. In all but name, it is a lockdown. I think he's calling it Tier 5, which is just absolutely ludicrous, but I don't want to go into politics right now. But those sorts of things, they do have a knock-on effect. And one of the big knock-on effects is that things like productions like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness have been put on hold because they are going on over there in the United Kingdom. This was actually revealed by Elizabeth Olsen when she was on Jimmy Kimmel Live. So she's actually in the UK now, and she is filming Doctor Strange 2 because she is going to be in that, in certain scenes in that movie. And she told Jimmy, since the hospitals are overwhelmed here, we can't go back to work until that calms down. So just safely hanging out here and really grateful to be working. Disney has kept me very busy during the quarantine. So she's obviously talking about Doctor Strange 2 over there, and it wasn't actually officially confirmed by Marvel that they've had to put the production into lockdown, so pause. It was kind of rumored for a while that she would be in Doctor Strange 2. It was then officially revealed by Kevin Feige that she was going to be in that movie. That was revealed at the Disney Investors Day presentation, and it's also being rumored that Doctor Strange might turn up at the end of WandaVision. And people have been saying that this is going to be like a trilogy. So it's going to start off with WandaVision, which is coming out very soon, the 15th of January. The first episode drops. I cannot wait for that. And then that's going to move on into Spider-Man 3 and then Doctor Strange 2. So all these films together, well, not films because WandaVision's not a film, but all of these things together will kind of make up a trilogy, like a sort of trilogy, the multiverse trilogy, let's call it, because it seems as though WandaVision is going to be the catalyst in getting the multiverse into the MCU, and then that's going to be expanded upon in Spider-Man 3, and then we're going to get into that even further in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So what do you make of this news? Are you a bit worried? Does this mean, it could mean, which is why I wanted to talk about it, it could mean that the release date of Doctor Strange 2 will be pushed back. So I think, as far as I'm aware, Spider-Man 3 is still going ahead, and that's because it's filming in Atlanta, not in the UK. So I don't believe there are any lockdown rules going on over there. The United States is dealing with its own problems at the moment. As you've probably seen, I don't really want to talk about politics on this show, but that is happening. But I don't believe productions are being shut down in the US, whereas in the UK, they very much are, which is actually affecting a lot of things. One thing I'm going to be talking about in a second, not in a second, in the TV part of the show, but let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments below. Right, moving on to James Gunn. So James Gunn has been dropping some interesting little, I suppose, anecdotes is the best words to call it, about filming, what it was like filming the Guardians of the Galaxy films. So he basically has been revealing this all on Twitter. And he revealed, for instance, that Chris Pratt likes to make pew pew noises so I'll bring it up here for you guys. So when Chris Pratt fires space guns, he literally, and this is no joke, accidentally makes pew pew sounds until I point out he's doing it. I'm not sure if this is in the moment or insane, but it's one of my favorite things. He then went on to talk about Dave Bautista, takes his craft very seriously. He's grounded in real emotion and not showy. The difference between Dave and many wrestler actors when you look in his eyes on set. He's in a place he's supposed to be, not thinking about what he's going to do next. Then he also said that he stole the idea from fan theories on Twitter, which I thought were hilarious. So that's to do with Stan Lee's cameo in, I think it was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 as the Watcher informant. And then here he said he storyboards every single shot in every movie I do myself. They're famously mocked by everyone and understood by few but me. They get the job done. We turn the storyboards into animated previs for some big action scenes composed of a lot of visual effects. So he's kind of just been doing this all week. And this is one of the reasons why I think many people love James Gunn. It's why I love James Gunn. He's very open about things. He likes to talk about his craft. He likes to talk about what it's like filming these things. And it's exciting for people that are interested in, especially Marvel movies, but just interested in filmmaking in general. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Are you excited for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2? He, of course, he's wrapped filming on the Suicide Squad, but I believe he's getting to the end of that movie. I think they're doing a lot of sound stuff and visual effects stuff for that film, but then he's going to be doing I believe he's doing Peacemaker almost immediately after that, and then he'll go on and do Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So there's a lot of stuff to be excited for if you're a James Gunn fan. I'm very excited to see his Suicide Squad. I think that's going to be fantastic. I also think the Peacemaker is going to be brilliant. It's going to star John Cena. And then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I'm just so happy that he's directing that film after all that, what was basically nonsense when he was fired for a couple of days. Or it's actually ended up being, it was actually probably a couple of weeks, not more, but it wasn't revealed that he'd been brought back by Disney until much, much later. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Right, this next segment I want to dedicate to a bit of fan casting on my end. So you might be aware of a singer called The Weeknd. He's pretty big at the moment. His real name is Abel Tesfaye. I think Tesfaye. I believe. This is a common theme. I'm terrible at names on this show, or just in general, but he's commonly known as The Weeknd. That's his performing name. That's what he calls himself. And he's last year, he came out with a brilliant album called After Hours. And he recently dropped a music video called for Save Your Tears, which is a really, really great song. And I've been watching his recent videos quite carefully. He's someone that every album he makes, he likes to adopt a persona. And this most recent persona he's adopted is the one I find the most interesting. I think a lot of it is to do with celebrity, it's to do with fame, it's to do with money, it's to do with just abundant wealth, it's to do with America, it's to do with the celebrity culture that's going on in the United States, and I think that's all very evident in these videos that he's been making. But the Save Your Tears one is the most shocking video of them all. And why am I talking about this? Well, the reason I'm talking about this is because I watched all those videos, and after having watched those videos, and also having seen him in things like he's turned up as himself in Uncut Gems, for instance, I could not help but think that he has to be cast as the Joker in Robert Pattinson's Batman movies. Now, I know you guys at this point might all be switching off and saying this is absolutely ridiculous, but just listen, hear me out. And before you actually kind of go, this is nonsense, I'm not going to listen to this, go and watch the recent video for Save Your Tears. Go and watch it now, and then come back and, if you're watching this live, stay with me, please, but watch the video and then make the decision for yourself, because he's got prosthetics on his face. He looks insane. I think a lot of that is to do with he's making some sort of commentary on plastic surgery, especially in the United States and with celebrities and things like that. But the whole video, to me, just looks like something the Joker would do. I know I really like the idea of The Weeknd or a different type of Joker to go up against Robert Pattinson's Batman. Now, I'm specifically saying that he should be cast as the Joker against Robert Pattinson's Batman because I think the juxtaposition of the two would work really, really well. I think because this Batman, as a lot of people have talked about, is not the kind of buff version we've had in the past. He's not like Ben Affleck. He's not like Christian Bale. If anything, he's a bit more like Michael Keaton. He's a bit more wiry, just in looks and body type. And the Weeknd would be kind of the juxtaposition of that because he's actually he's bulky. He's quite well built. And I like that. I like the idea of him playing a kind of bigger, more brutish Joker. But it's not even that. It's just the character he's playing in this video in particular. And actually, if you watch all of the videos that have come out that he's done for the After Hours album, it's this kind of, he's got this flashy red jacket on. He's got the gloves. He's singing. He's a showman. He's got, the people in his band are wearing these weird masks, and everyone he's performing in front of are wearing these weird masks and kind of stationary, apart from the one girl. And I really do see this as it would make such an incredible scene in a Batman movie. And his performance in this video is insanely good. It's so good. I watched it and I was like, he's an actor. He's a brilliant, brilliant actor. He's a fantastic performer. We know that already. But this, to me, the stuff he does, he's drinking champagne, spitting it, he's throwing it everywhere. And then I think for me, the kicker was when he brings out the gun. And that was the moment I really and he starts, playing around with it. And he at the very end of the video, he puts it to his head and is like about to, it looks like he's going to shoot himself. But then it's confetti that comes out of the gun. And I think that is such a Joker thing to do. So for me, watching that video, I just immediately thought this guy, Matt Reeves has to look at him. Because what an incredible bit of casting that would be. We already saw people go nuts about the Robert Pattinson casting, which I personally think is fantastic. I think the casting director involved in this Batman movie is fantastic. Now, I'm going to put all the rumors of the strife on set to one side because I actually think they're absolute BS. I think they're complete and utter BS, but they're there, which is a shame. So that could factor in further down the line, but I personally hope not. But imagine a movie which is Robert Pattinson's Batman pitted up against The Weeknd as the Joker. That's a movie I would see. I would love to see that film. And I wrote a big article about it. You can go and have a look at it and read it. And then if you disagree with me, then fine. But I just want to put up one image. I want to put up that image, and look at me and tell me that's not a fantastic Joker potential right there. And then even if I go, even that, it just looks cool. And then here you can obviously see the Weeknd with all the prosthetics on his face. But I really do I really do think that watch the video and make up your minds for yourselves. I think he'd be wonderful. I think it would be really fascinating. Of course, he was in Uncut Gems. He did play himself, but that movie was directed by the Safdie brothers, who, of course, directed Robert Pattinson in Good Time. So these things do actually end up lining up. So he's obviously interested in starring in films. And I generally think these music videos, I've not been interested in. I used to be really, really interested in music videos and used to love watching them. I think they've become really, really stale and really, really boring. If you know Adam Buxton, for instance, he does a show called Bug, which is mainly about music videos. It's fascinating. That show is fascinating because he goes out there and finds really interesting music videos. Unfortunately, there aren't really that many of them being made anymore. For instance, Zack Snyder came from a music video background. That's I believe. I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure he did. And I know there are lots of directors out there that have started working in a video, like a music video scene. Maybe it was Michael Bay. Maybe I'm mixing him up with Michael Bay. There is a director out there, a lot of directors out there that started off in music, doing music videos. Maybe a lot, a lot. I'm blanking on the names. I know there are a lot, but anyway, that's besides the point. What I'm saying is that these music videos are, I think, kind of masterful. I think they're mini masterpieces, and they all kind of come together to form what is really quite an interesting short movie. And I really, really think you guys should watch them. I think I'm hoping that it's going to start a new kind of avenue in the Weeknd's career, because I think just watching those things, and I think he's a fantastic actor, and I think he'd make a really, really good Joker. But let me know what you guys think about all that in the comments below. You can disagree with me if you like. You're very welcome to. And you know what? I think a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that one, but I thought it was interesting, and I wanted to write about it. Right, moving on. Moving on to Zack Snyder, and he actually revealed in a recent interview with, I think it was Comic Book Debate, he was talking to, that he has a dream, and his dream is to direct Elektra. So do an Elektra movie. Basically, if he wanted to jump on over to Marvel, this is what he said. I'll bring up the quote right here. He said, that's the picture. So here we go. I would choose Elektra Lives Again. Do you know that Frank Miller comic book? It's a graphic novel about Elektra. Daredevil is having these dreams about Elektra coming back to life, and it's really cool and weird. It's just cool and beautiful. That's what I like to do. No one cares, but that's what I would do. So, I have read that comic book, and it's actually really fun. It's a really interesting comic book. And one thing that Zack Snyder is very good is he's visually a fantastic director. I think he's a really, really interesting director visually. I think he suffers a bit as far as story is concerned, but he would make just a brilliant looking Elektra movie. And of course we got the Jennifer Garner Elektra film, which in 2005 I believe it was, which really wasn't very good. I think the character's in need of a little revamp, and why not bring in Zack Snyder? I think Zack Snyder would be a great choice for that movie. I think really fascinating choice, and I'd be interested to see who they get to play Elektra, because we already did kind of have a version of Elektra in the Daredevil, in the kind of Netflix Marvel TV shows, and she was introduced in Daredevil season 2, I believe, maybe season 1. But so really, I think it was season 2. But I would like to see him do that. I think he would be really good at that. And there's also some more kind of Zack Snyder related news, and that's that there have been some stills released of Darkseid and Steppenwolf in Zack Snyder's Justice League. So this is something that I'll bring up the image of. Here is Steppenwolf in all his glory. Steppenwolf looks so much better in Zack Snyder's Justice League. He looked terrible. If you want to know how he looked in the original, that's how he looked like. Sorry, there you go. That's the original Steppenwolf in Joss Whedon's Justice League. Not good. This one is a lot better. And as for Darkseid, well, this is on Reddit here. And this is a scene that I think we've seen teased a few times now, but he looks pretty, well, I'm going to use a word that I don't like, but he looks pretty dope. I'm going to say that. I think this, I really cannot wait to see this film. It's a film that a lot of people have wanted to see for a long time, and it's coming. I think the rumor is March 21st is the rumor. I'll double check that and see if those line up with my sources. But as far as I'm aware, I think it is March 21st. It's going to be released on HBO Max. But what do you make of those still images, and are you excited for Zack Snyder's Justice League? Let me know in the comments below. Moving on to another Zack Snyder property, and that's Army of the Dead. So he dropped some new images for his upcoming Netflix movie, Army of the Dead. So it sees him go back to his zombie roots. It's described as a zombie heist movie, which I really like the sound of. I'll show you the image that was given to Entertainment Weekly, I believe it is. Yeah, it's Entertainment Weekly, and you can see the cast there, including Dave Bautista. And he also had a couple of things to say about the movie. So he said, it's a full-blown, balls-to-the-wall zombie heist movie, so it's genre-on-genre in a great way. So you expect pure zombie mayhem, and you get that 100%. But also, you get these really amazing characters on a fantastic journey. It's going to surprise people that there's a lot of warmth and real emotion with these great characters. With Dawn of the Dead, we made a zombie movie, but tried to do it all the way with all these tropes of the genre. What's so fun... So that was so fun. Sorry, so I started to think of what were the other genres that the story didn't have room for. In this tone, it's this tone where you have fun with the genre, but you don't make fun of the genre. It's a fine line. So what he's saying there is that it's basically it's going to be half kind of, well, not really half. It's a zombie movie meets heist movie, which I like the sound of. He also went on to talk a bit about Army of the Dead Lost Vegas, which is the animated, I think is it prequel? Yes, a prequel series that's also coming to Netflix. So he had this to say: I've done a very deep dive with the why of the zombie plague and where it starts. Suffice to say that it comes from Area 51. That's in line with the film's opening scene, and then the whole cast is in the animated series, along with Christian Slater as the bad guy. We really do a super deep dive on where this zombie plague came from, and that sounds to me really fascinating. I'm really, really excited for this movie. Dare I say it? I'm actually more excited for Army of the Dead than Justice League, but that is just personal, because I love zombie movies and I do not think enough of them are made. I think that it's a genre that's kind of, I wouldn't say gone a bit stale, but I'd say there hasn't really been a good zombie movie made since, I can't really think of the last good one. 28 Days Later was probably the best one to be made in recent years. Oh no, there was a pretty good Korean one, A Train to Busan. I haven't actually seen the sequel, which is apparently really good. Actually, no, they're really good. So if you were probably to look further afield, so say in Asia, you might find some really good zombie movies. I think there was a kind of black comedy one that came from South Korea. There definitely was, but I'm blanking on the name right now. But yeah, I'm excited for Army of the Dead. I'm excited that it's coming to Netflix. I think that's a good place for it. I'm also excited for this animated prequel series. I think it sounds great. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Right, moving on to an exclusive. So, Bridgerton Season 2 is already in the works at Netflix. This is something that I've been working on for a couple of days now. I'm actually a big fan of this new show, which came to Netflix a couple of days ago, and is now it's become a huge hit on Netflix. So it's from the creator of Grey's Anatomy and How to Get Away with Murder. That's Shonda Rhimes, and she signed an exclusive deal with Netflix, reported to be worth $150 million. And the very first of these shows that she's producing for them is Bridgerton, and Bridgerton is it's kind of it's an interesting period drama. It kind of turns the genre on its head a bit. You've got for instance. You've got very prominent black characters in it, which is not usual for a period drama, which I'm a massive fan of. I love the fact they've done that. I think it's about time. We've also got a potential Bond in one of its stars. I'm blanking on his page. His last name is Jean. I can't remember his first name. But he's really good in the series, and it's now revealed that the streaming service, that it's going to be one of the big hits of the year for the streaming service. It's now on its course to hit 63 million streams, which actually means it's overtaking The Queen's Gambit as one of the most streamed series of the year. So that's going to be behind the likes of The Witcher. I believe, this is all time. So The Witcher, Tiger King, Money Heist Season 4, and Stranger Things Season 3. So it's doing really, really well. So what's happening with Season 2? So I was asking around. I was asking some of the people involved in Season 1, and some of those directors are the same, and asking a lot of questions. And eventually I got a confirmation. One of the questions I was asking is Season 2 happening? And yes, this is from an inside source. I won't say who it is, but they replied to me today, and I can say, so they agreed to be direct quoted. I can confirm that Bridgerton Season 2 is already in the works. We're working on finishing off the scripts, and we'll start shooting pretty soon. Can't tell you when exactly, but it'll start sooner rather than later, depending on lockdown rules in the UK. So most of this show is filmed in the UK. So again, this goes back to lockdown rules that's been implemented recently. We still don't really know how long these will last, and I did mention that this will carry on into the latter part of the show, and that's to do with Bridgerton. So I'm thinking that we're probably going to see this show towards the end of 2021, beginning of 2022. I'm pretty sure Netflix will want to make it as soon as possible. So that's, Netflix has had a ridiculous 2020. So many hits in 2020. Bridgerton was kind of the last of them, but they've had hits. Well, Cobra Kai, for instance, has done really well, and incidentally, Cobra Kai has reportedly been renewed for Season 5, and I actually can confirm from my own sources that is the case. Cobra Kai is going to get a 5th season. That Season 4 is coming out later this year. and that's after season 3 was released early. It was released on the 1st of January. It's done really, really well. It's currently number 5 in the Netflix kind of ranking system. Well, in France it is, but I'm not quite sure. In other areas, it'll probably actually be higher in other areas. But that's done really well. So then we've had The Queen's Gambit that did really well. It started off the year with the likes of Tiger King that did really well. Money Heist Season 4 did really well. The Witcher kind of ended the year and went into 2020 as well. That did really well. So they've been doing, and also Midnight Sky, for instance, the new George Clooney movie's done incredibly well. Extraction did really well. So it's been a brilliant year for Netflix. It's been a really, really good year for Netflix. And it looks like 2021 is going to be even better because the likelihood is they're gonna. I'm pretty sure Netflix are going to work their hardest to get Bridgerton season 2 out in 2021, but we know that we now have let me know what you guys think about that news, that about the Bridgerton news in the comments below. I kind of put them all together there, but I just wanted to cut this bit so I can cut the video here. Right. That's for the little clips I do after doing this live. So I already mentioned Cobra Kai. The next Netflix show that was that is coming out in 2021 is Stranger Things season 4, and this is another thing I've been doing some digging about. When is this show actually going to drop on Netflix? They like to say. Because it hasn't actually officially been revealed, the release date. And I think I found when it's going to come out. So this is actually something I found quite difficult to really figure out, because my people I've been contacting about this don't really want to tell me when it's coming out. They're just saying 2020. I did hear some people tell me summer of 2020, which this lines up with. So here we go. This is according to a Netflix account called Netflix Updates. They've found that Stranger Things season 4 is going to land on the 21st of August 2021, which kind of coincides with what I've been told about summer. Some people actually said end of summer. So that works out pretty well. So that means that we're going to get a nice little treat at the end of summer in August, the 21st of August 2021. Stranger Things season 4 will drop, which kind of makes sense because it's like I was kind of wondering whether it might be more towards the end of the year, but it looks like it's going to be, I suppose August is still kind of near the end of the year, but we've had like the Halloween one. We've had it was July 4th, I think the season 3 came out. So this kind of makes sense in like changing of the seasons of different, like literally the seasons change seasons, if that makes any sense to you. So we'll have like August kind of winter time, like July, beginning of summer, and August, end of summer, beginning of spring. No, beginning of fall. Sorry, autumn. It makes sense. It makes sense as far as in that kind of theme that I think they've been going for. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Right, the final bit of news today is that Robert Downey Jr. is rumored to be in talks to star in The Mandalorian. So this comes from a website that I'm going to be honest, I wasn't really familiar with before now, called Pirates and Princesses, and they're very, very kind of Disney focused, of course, and this is what they said. So they said here, I'll direct quote them. So let's just get straight to it. We believe at this time, based on our sources and just breaking reporting, that Robert Downey Jr. is in serious talks to join the Favreau-Filoni Star Wars cinematic universe. And then within the article, they went on to say that it's specifically for The Mandalorian. So they just said just breaking reporting, and that comes from Daniel Rickman, who also reported that this is happening. I'm a bit skeptical about this, to be honest, because I think I do know that Jon Favreau and Robert Downey Jr. are very good friends. Of course, they both did Iron Man together and Iron Man 2, and they've been part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe together for a long, long time. And I do think Robert Downey Jr. has been looking to kind of get involved with another franchise after Doolittle kind of fell through. He's of course doing the Sherlock Holmes thing, but who knows how long that will last for. So it seems as though he wants to join The Mandalorian. The thing that's kind of telling me that this might not be the case is that he is quite expensive. Robert Downey Jr. doesn't come cheap, but he's worked with Disney in the past. He knows Jon Favreau very well. He's very friendly with Jon Favreau. Then the second question is, who will he play? Well, I've seen a lot of people online go, oh, he's playing Grand Admiral Thrawn. He would be so wrong for that part. No, he's not playing Thrawn. I've asked around about Thrawn, and I still have being told that Lars Mikkelsen is the front runner, even though people are going on about Benedict Cumberbatch and people like that. No, Benedict Cumberbatch is not really right for the role at all, and they've shown that as far, I mean, like it's more to like just looking at what I think about this. Lars Mikkelsen not only sounds the part because he literally voiced the role in Star Wars Rebels, he also looks the part. So there's that, and then there's also the fact that Bo-Katan, for instance, was played by the voice actor. Blanking on her name, Katie Sackhoff. So they are. I mean, there was a lot said about Ahsoka Tano and the fact a lot of fans wanted the voice actor, who I am seriously Ashley something, I believe her name is, blanking on her name. But then it went to Rosario Dawson, but that's more of a looks thing, really. Rosario Dawson looks much more like Ahsoka Tano than the voice actor does. But again, I probably would have liked to have seen the voice actor play Ahsoka Tano in live action as well. But the thing is, Lars Mikkelsen, not only does he look the part, he's also a fantastic actor. And as far as my sources are aware, they're actually quite far along in those talks between him and Disney and Lucasfilm. So I don't think Robert Downey Jr. is going to be playing Thrawn. There are lots of other roles he could play. There's like potential like new roles that he could play, ones that aren't linked to previous Star Wars animated shows, or in canon, maybe Filoni and Favreau have come up with a new character that they feel he's perfect for. We're just going to have to wait and see. What do you make of this news, of this rumor? Would you like to see Robert Downey Jr. in The Mandalorian? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And with that, I'll say goodbye. Thank you very, very much for watching and listening. So if you are listening to this as a podcast, I'm sorry for the preamble at the beginning. You can find this wherever you get your podcasts at Small Screen Stories. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, then please give us 5 stars. If you are also interested in following us on social media, you can follow us everywhere at Small Screen Co. That's on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can go to the site right now and read the articles. This is small-screen.co.uk. If you're interested in writing for us, you can email me at edwards@small-screen.co.uk. Please send me your pitches. We accept pitches. We pay our writers, and I love to hear your guys' pitches. You come up with brilliant ones, and we've had some fantastic writers over the last couple of months. And for instance, Doug, we've had a great article today about the movie trends that we're expecting to see in 2021, and that was written by Douglas Laman, who is not a new writer. He's written for us before, but it's stuff that I like to do is just promote people's writing, and I like Small Screen to be an avenue for that. What else? You can follow me. It's EJ Lauder, and you can just like and subscribe. If you can do that, that'd be really good. That would be really, really cool too. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers and goodbye.